In this webisode, as discussed in last night's update, the last 24 hours will dictate if Bitcoin is actually being faked out here at 12.5. At the time of recording, Bitcoin is currently finding support right underneath 12,000 US dollars at previous resistance for the past few weeks. However, we'll show you what is most likely the next move going forward, and is a 6% premium on spot price, hinting at something very bullish for Bitcoin. One analyst says if Bitcoin is able to breach 13K, that is exactly when the market will explode, reaching all-time highs very shortly after. We're going to go into detail about those future contracts expiring and what that could mean for Bitcoin's price based on this premium we're seeing. Wow, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to an extremely Tuesday webisode. We're going to be taking a look at the price of Bitcoin here as we are seeing a pullback in the entire market. And oftentimes when we see these alts pull back, we see Bitcoin actually move to the upside. However, guys, at this very moment, both Bitcoin and altcoins alike across the board for the most part are all experiencing retracement. So we're going to get into that. And as well, we're going to be talking about some of this extremely bullish data based on futures exchanges information here. You are not going to want to miss out. And guys, huge for everybody in T4, we sent out a mass email today actually giving the invite link to our Telegram group here under active investments. If you didn't receive the email, you can just go to T4 and actually find it in here. In fact, there's at least 150 people that turned off email notifications. So if you guys didn't get those emails, make sure to go to T4 here and join the private Telegram. And if you're already enrolled in T4, you have access to this absolutely free. We're going to be posting more up-to-date and very quick updates in that Telegram. A lot of you guys requested that, and it's just a simpler, much more effective way of getting the information out instead of posting it in here. So again, guys, we're going to be transitioning, be posting those updates in the private Telegram here. So if you're interested, 15% off with code millions at checkout. So guys, as we discussed in yesterday's update about a fake out, we found resistance right around 12.5, which again, easily could have been just to take liquidity as a lot of people were expecting a break to that side there. But is this breakout actually confirmed? Is this going to be a true breakout from the about 3-week ascending triangle? We're going to be delving into that. So if we switch to this 4-hour chart, you can see Bitcoin did receive that break and found a resistance right at about 12,485, roughly on this exchange Coinbase. And guys, clearly a sharp rejection after these 4-hour candles failed to break above that. And clearly now where we're finding support at this very moment is right at about 11,900. However, we did come all the way down to 11,800 basically. But this is a very key moment. Are we going to see something where we actually swing to the downside and fail this breakout? We're going to show you what our targets are because we have to zoom out and we cannot find those targets based on this chart. So before we get to those downside targets, if we switch here to the monthly here, BLX, something absolutely key that we want to pay attention to. Yesterday we talked about the very first week of September being an absolutely explosive month for reasons that if you're interested in finding out, check out yesterday's episode. Very heavily related to the Fed printing and everything going on in the world and institutional firms getting more invested in crypto. However, guys, as you can see, this is absolutely huge for another reason. As you can see, we get this monthly candle close in less than 2 weeks. If we do that yet again, guys, we'll be setting yet another very strong monthly candle. You can see July was absolutely perfect how we closed above the previous monthly highs. And as well, we have those weekly closes, especially from last week, closing above those previous weekly highs as well, which is absolutely key for confirming this macro trend for Bitcoin. But specifically right now, we're also finding support on this 9-day moving average for Bitcoin. We've gotten multiple bounces actually for the last 5 days in a row. We've actually been touching and bouncing down on this 9-day moving average. Currently, that's around 11,815 roughly, which is about our low so far for today. Okay, so in terms of a pullback, 11,500 is an absolutely key area that we want to hold if this uptrend is going to remain intact. Obviously, if we break out of this ascending triangle, this short-term pattern is not going to look so good, right? And breaking below 11,750 is exactly where if we break, we would be broken below this. However, again, guys, we do see 4-hour candles that actually go below this ascending triangle as long as we end up returning into it and closing above some of these key levels. Specifically to the downside, we need to look at this 7-year support line, which at this moment, if it would come down today, would be 10,600. Now this is key for a lot of reasons. 10,500 is an absolutely very important level of support, and that's right above, this blue line is right above where that is as well. So again, holding that. We have so many targets to the downside that we would need to hold and most likely would hold before even approaching 10,000 US dollars. So obviously 10,000 US dollars is a huge psychological level, but we have a lot of areas that we're going to look at before that. So specifically 10,006, 10,005, and more importantly to the upside 11,006, which you see right here, which is also where this 21-day moving average is right here. We have actually not visited that for support since August 13th, but we had 3 daily candles wick down exactly to this moving average and immediately bounce back up. You can see that here on August 11th, 12th, and 13th. All 3 were wicks, and all 3 had significant bounces, pretty much closing the rest of that candle at least halfway up before continuing upwards. So again, we're getting squished and squeezed in between this very key horizontal resistance. Basically 12,003 to 12,005 is that key resistance we want to break. But as well, we're squished and squeezed between this 21-day, which is currently 11,600. So again, less than $1,000 trading range right here where we're getting squished between, which is again basically where this ascending triangle has been forming, which you see better here on this chart. This is what it kind of looks like on this frame here. And again, below that to the 11.6, we obviously have that 10.5 and 10.6, but we also have that very key level here, which is the horizontal support, which also comes into play the 50-day moving average, which is right now still also above 10K, about 10,003. So again, guys, we have a lot of room below us. There's no reason at all to flip bearish, you guys. Even in the most bullish uptrends, we get pullbacks. And so far, this pullback has not been impressive. But if we do break some of these key levels, then that's when we might have to change our strategy here. 10,003, 10,004, I think is going to be huge, though, if we would ever get anywhere near that. Huge area for support. We have some key moving averages. We have a huge level of horizontal resistance and support right here. Resistance turn support right above 10,005. We have that VPVR volume even slightly below that. We have a lot, guys. So even if we did dip below 10K over the next few weeks, we have so much below us, guys. This has turned incredibly macro bullish, and that's actually turning the attention to this, you guys. So John Bollinger actually says this is picture perfect for Bitcoin's bull run. So on Monday, a sudden swing above 12K was assumed to be a red herring, meaning it was kind of like a fake out, right? But the higher levels have since held. For John Bollinger, the creator of the Bollinger Bands volatility indicator, there was now every reason to believe in the strength of the rally. He says, I imagine that someone is complaining about this rally. Not me, though. A picture perfect advance so far. Squeeze, confirm breakout, walk up the upper band, consolidate, support at middle band, mini squeeze, break new highs. How much more could one ask for? And guys, with that being said, there's another trader here saying that we'll explode if we actually breach that 13K. So obviously 12 to 14K range has been that absolutely crucial zone that everybody's been watching. The 12 to 14K area is where basically the last levels of significant trading occurred. We were at 20,000 US dollars, but really no significant trading occurred there. That was more of a blow off top. 20,000 is the all-time high, but in terms of trading all-time high, it was actually a little bit lower, down in that 12 to 14K range, which is why a lot of people, including myself, believe that if we're going to break that 12, 13, and 14 finally K range, then new all-time highs will be very much realistic, very much something we need to anticipate immediately if we do get that break, guys, because again, we're not going to trade most likely in $17,000, $18,000, $19,000 range for very long. We have no historical resistance there, and by that point, a lot of people will have flipped incredibly bullish if we can actually break these final macro levels of previous resistance. So derivatives trader Jay Sturz highlighted extreme Bitcoin futures spread as a sign that intensely strong bullish advance may soon arrive. So currently Bitcoin futures contracts that expire in March 2021 are priced 6% higher than the BTC USD spot price at around 12,280. It seems extreme to see BTC March 21 trading 6% above spot. We have been at this level about 4 times since 2017. If Bitcoin breaches above 13K, this thing is going to explode. And you can see the Bitcoin futures spread by percent here with Bitcoin price on the top and then the spread there on the bottom going back about the almost last 3 years worth of futures data. And then we have the Bitcoin futures aggregated open interest chart. You can see the skew there. We've been talking about the herd coming for so long it's become a meme, but without a doubt, this is actually the herd and it's incredibly bullish. So guys, at the time of recording, with roughly 8 hours until we get another daily candle close for Bitcoin, ideally throughout the day, we want to see us remain or at least close above 11,780. And if that does occur, we remain completely macro and even short-term bullish. However, again, I do anticipate if we do come down and we see something similar like we saw back the second week of August, and as well the very first few days of August, going below that. Again, that could still be likely, but we just want to get significant 4-hour closes above this. We already had actually daily candles that closed slightly below. You guys can see we've had multiple here on the 11th and the 12th as well, but we completely re-entered there. So just because a daily candle closes outside of it doesn't 100% immediately invalidate a pattern. As you can see in the 4-hour, this entire thing completely re-entered and 100% acted as if a ascending triangle would always act, and we even got a break, even though that break was short-lived, as we found immediate resistance around 12.5, which we see why we got that resistance on these other longer term charts. You can see very clearly those are some historically very strong resistance levels for Bitcoin. You can see here's where we got rejected. This is also the 786 on this longer term weekly Fibonacci retracement. So again, guys, this area right here is key. But again, we are incredibly close. This is we are on the last step. So whether this takes another week or whether it takes another month or so, this is the absolute beginning of an absolute bull rally, guys. The bull rally, in my opinion, does not start up here. It starts once we break this. So basically a little over 14,000 and cement that, whether we have to come back and test for support, but basically breaking this is the key to exploding, not all the way up here at 20K. We're going to see things absolutely pop off, $6,000 below technical all-time highs before, that explosion really happens. So again, we're pretty much knocking on the door of this right now. But yeah, you see why that's so much clear resistance as well. You can even see on this VPVR, once we do get above 14K, the trading volume literally evaporates. There's basically nothing here. So guys, huge. If you are interested in being entered to win 0.1 Bitcoin, a Bybit branded Ledger Nano X, and as well as some articles of clothing from Bybit, you can take part in their sponsored giveaway on this channel only if you use the links in the comments. Some of you have reached out and said some of the links don't work, but I have a new link in the comments specifically if you click that. And yeah, guys, for everybody in T4, make sure to join the private Telegram. Since you're already in T4, it's absolutely free once you've paid for T4. That is where we're going to be sending out the updates. You'll get the notification straight to your phone, and I think it'll be a much quicker and easier way, and a lot of you have been requesting that as well. The link is in here, and if you have emails turned off for T4, then you didn't receive the email because I think 150 of you or so actually turned off those emails from T4 or Teachable. So yeah, if you go to this active update here, you can get the link and you can enter there. Just make sure you have the Telegram app downloaded. You need to have that, which is also free, but you just need to make sure you have the free app to be able to access the data on the app. And if you're interested in joining, it's 15% off with code millions for a limited time. We're going to be ending the sale sometime this month.